So why we see a lot of people, you know, in and out of marriage, you know, quickly as they say I do, they say I don't very soon.
Yeah.
Very quickly, because they really didn't count the cost. What they felt they wanted was marriage, but what they really wanted wasn't marriage. What they really wanted was somebody to cook for them. What they really wanted was somebody to, you know, just play with them when they are in the mood. What about when you're not in the mood and the person wants to play? When you're married, you have to play because you have an obligation with them. And so knowing what the marriage institution is about, and I feel that is where a lot of people, you know, miss it, together with not really knowing who they are, not really discovering themselves in God and all of that, and then they jump at, you know, anybody that looks like, you know, something that they like. All right, oh, she looks good, and it's important that she looks good, but it's beyond she looking good physically. What happens when those attributes are gone? Because she will not always look like she is now, just like the way you will not always look the way you are now. And so it has to be something that is deeper. And so before choosing, back to your question, before choosing my spouse, one of the things that I did before choosing my wife, one of the things that I did was, you know, self-discovery, which is something that usually starts from sometimes childhood, sometimes from the teenage years, to really find out, okay, why exactly am I here? You know, what am I passionate about? What do I love to do? What are my values? Because it is important that when you look out for a spouse, now I'm delving into the answers now, you're looking for somebody that shares the values that you share. That is very fundamental. Values, your value system, very, very fundamental. What are your core convictions? When you strip a man bare, what is left is his conviction, or what you have left are his values, ultimately. And so you can't successfully be in a marriage with someone that has values that are different from yours. When working with clients, there's a tool, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's called the user's manual. The user's manual is something that we use to help, you know, intending couples and even sometimes singles to, you know, discover themselves and understand, you know, their partner a lot more. So you design a user's manual for yourself and then you share with your partner. And one of the core aspects of the user's manual is the part that talks about, you know, values. What are your values? And so you want to be with someone that shares the same values. And it's not just about, you know, meeting her and asking her, what are your values? You can ask that. But more importantly, it's about observing. And so the dating period is a period of, you know, intelligent observation. All right. And investigation as well. Very important. Because you need to do background checks and all those things. So you want to observe. When you observe a person close, you know, close up, you can tell what their values are. When you see how they respond to conflict, how they respond to pressure, how they respond to, you know, situations not going the way they plan, then their values show up. When you see them, you know, respond to life generally when it looks like nobody's watching them, you see their values. And so you want to be with someone that shares the values that you have. And that's one of the things that I discovered, you know, with my wife while we dated. We dated for close to 5 years, which is probably not the most ideal. I don't think, you know, courtship necessarily have to be that long, but when it comes to courtship, it's not just about the longevity, it's also about the quality of time you guys spend together. And so if you're in a long distance relationship, I did an Insta Live recently with a dear senior, you know, friend and colleague that I respect greatly.